Hey everyone, this is Tirthalion here with today's video, and I do have to give you a warning on this one because there will be some autopsy photos and disturbing photos of a young man who is apparently no longer with us. So, I want to warn you that you may or may not want to watch this. Do not let your children watch it, of course. So if this is something you're interested in, let's find out as much as we can about the boy in the box mystery. Thanks and have a good day. Now, I have kind of avoided this one, because everyone has done this, and so I guess it is my turn. This baby was murdered by blunt force trauma to the head. Someone had beat him to death. Just the thought is just too much, especially to a little boy. Now, the reason that I did Miss Felicia Rudd before I did this one is because we don't know what's happened to Ms. Rudd, but this young man, we pretty much know everything, and everything we know is disturbing. Once we do find Ms. Rudd, and we're able to finally put her case to a close, it may be time to come back and revisit hers. The boy in the box is the name given to an unidentified murder victim, a 4 to 6 year old boy whose naked, battered body was found in a bassinet box in the Fox Chase section of Philadelphia, Pennsylvania on February 25th, 1957. He is also commonly known or called America's Unknown Child. His identity has never been discovered, and the case remains open. In February 1957, the boy's body, wrapped in a plaid blanket, was found in the woods off Susquehanna Road in Fox Chase, Philadelphia. The naked body was inside a cardboard box which had once contained a bassinet of the kind sold by J.C. Penney. Now, the boy's hair had recently been cropped, possibly after death, as clumps of hair had clung to his body. There were signs of severe malnourishment, as well as surgical scars on the ankle and groin, and an L-shaped scar under the chin. The body was first discovered by a young man who was checking his muskrat traps. Try to say that one 10 times fast. Fearing that the police would confiscate his traps, he did not report what he had found. A few days later, a college student spotted a rabbit running into the underbrush. Knowing that there were animal traps in the area, he stopped his car to investigate and discovered the body. He too was reluctant to have any contact with the police, but he did report what he had found the following day. The police received the report and opened an investigation on February 26, 1957. The dead boy's fingerprints were taken, and the police were at first optimistic that he would soon be identified. However, no one ever came forward with any useful information. And since it is still technically an open case, there hasn't been much information released. Many tips and theories have been advanced in the case, although most of these have been dismissed. 2 theories have generated considerable interest among the police and the media. They have each been extensively investigated. The first theory is the foster home. And this theory concerns a foster home that was located approximately 1.5 miles from the site of the body. In 1960, Remington Bristow, an employee of the medical examiner's office who doggedly pursued the case until his death in 1993, contacted a New Jersey psychic who told him to look for a house that matched the foster home. When the psychic was brought to the Philadelphia Discovery site, she led Bristow directly to the foster home. Upon attending an estate sale at the foster home, Bristow discovered a bassinet similar to the one that was sold at JCPenney. He also discovered blankets hanging on the clothesline that were similar to the one in which the boy's body had been wrapped. Bristow believed that the boy belonged to the stepfather of the man who ran the foster home, and that they disposed of his body so the stepdaughter would not be exposed as an unwed mother. He theorized that the boy's death had been an accident. Despite circumstantial evidence, the police were not able to find definite links between the boy in the box and that foster family. Now, the second is Lady M, or Martha. Another theory was brought forward in February 2002 by a woman identified only as Martha. Police considered Martha's story to be plausible, but were troubled by her testimony, as she had a history of mental illness. M claimed that her abusive mother had purchased the unknown boy, whose name was Jonathan, from his birth parents in the summer of 1954. Subsequently, the boy was subjected to extreme physical and sexual abuse for 2.5 years. One evening at dinner, the boy had vomited up his meal of baked beans and was given a severe beating, with his head slammed against the floor until he was semi-unconscious. He was given a bath, during which he died. These details matched information known only to the police at the time, as the coroner had found out that the boy's stomach contents contained the remains of baked beans, and that his fingers and soles of his feet were water-wrinkled. M's mother cut the boy's distinctive long hair according to accounting for the unprofessional haircut which police noted in their initial investigation, in an effort to conceal his identity. M's mother forced M to assist her in dumping the boy's body in the Fox Chase area. M said that as they were preparing to remove the boy's body from the trunk of a car, a passing male motorist pulled alongside to inquire whether they needed help. M was ordered to stand in front of the car's license plate to shield it from view, while the mother convinced the would-be Good Samaritan that there was no problem. So the man eventually drove off. The story corroborated confidential testimony given by a male witness in 1957, who said that the body had been placed in a box previously discarded at the scene. In spite of the outward plausibility of M's confession, the police were unable to verify her story. Neighbors who had access to M's house during the stated time period denied that there had been a young boy living there and dismissed M's claims as ridiculous. Now, there have been a few other unsubstantiated theories. One is the forensic artist Frank Bender developed a theory that the victim may have been raised as a girl. The child's unprofessional haircut, which appeared to have been performed in haste, was the basis for the scenario, as well as the appearance of the eyebrows having been styled or plucked. In 2008, Bender released a sketch of the unidentified child with long hair, which the actual body had long strands of hair on it. In 2016, two writers, one from Los Angeles, California, Jim Hoffman, and the other from New Jersey, Louis Romano, explained that they believed that they had discovered a potential identity from Memphis, Tennessee, and requested that DNA be compared between the family members and the child. The lead was originally discovered by a Philadelphia man who introduced Romano and Hoffman to each other, and was developed and presented with the help of Hoffman to the Philadelphia Police Department and the Vidocq Society in early 2013. In December 2013, Romano became aware of the lead and agreed to help the man from Philadelphia and Hoffman to obtain the DNA from this particular family member in January 2014, which was sent quickly to the Philadelphia Police Department. Local authorities confirmed that they would investigate the lead, but said that they would need to do more research on the circumstances surrounding the link to the Memphis family before comparing DNA. In December of 2017, Homicide Sergeant Bob Kuhlmeyer confirmed that the DNA taken from the Memphis man was compared to the Fox Chase boy, and there was no connection. The boy in the box was originally buried in a potter's field. In 1998, his body was exhumed for the purpose of extracting DNA, which was obtained from enamel on a tooth. He was reburied at Ivy Hill Cemetery in Cedar Brook, Philadelphia, which donated a large plot. The coffin, headstone, and funeral service were donated by the son of the man who had buried the boy in 1957. There was significant public attendance and media coverage at the reburial. The grave has a large headstone bearing the words, "America's Unknown Child," and city residents to this day keep the grave decorated with flowers and stuffed animals. So there wasn't much mention of an actual investigation, so let's get down to the readings.